Okay, so my name is Fred Buser. I've been here for 12 years. That's Luke. You get him next. Sorry. I've been here for 12 years. I work in marketing. I'll talk a little bit about Q1. We worked 20 different trade shows in Q1. It was insane. It was intense. We didn't have a trade show coordinator. Danielle and I found out that it took two of us to do one person's job. Called Stephanie and told her that I wish she had stayed, but she moved on. Jeremy, obviously helping out, lots of people in sales, contributing to make that a success. Some great photos up here of some of our shows. If you come up and take a quick look before you walk off. Here's Steven. Can you zoom in on this one for Steven? I'm not sure what he's doing in this picture, but I did add it to the mix so that you can all see the antics. I'm sure it's before the show started. But 20 different trade shows and really a phenomenal turnout. Incredible interest in the products. And the ag shows, you know, people talking about the ag economy being down and farmers not really buying. I got to tell you, if you want the hot booth of the trade show, it is a Thunder Creek booth. We are covered up from the time we open, generally till the time we close. Very, very busy, a lot of attendance. A lot of, there was also a fair amount of non-ag shows we had this time around. Took the multi-tank truck to a lot of those, and every single one was a pretty big hit. So really just incredible success at Q1 trade shows. Talk a little bit about social media. Jean mentioned social media earlier in kind of the intro for today. Some of the things that she's been seeing and hearing out there. We reached 750,000 people in the last 90 days. 750,000 people. There's a lot of organic traffic. There's some paid traffic there, but that is really a phenomenal achievement. That is 25%, a 25% increase over our Q1 last year, entire social media exposure. It's not easy. You can't buy it. It's a journey and it's not a destination. You have to keep working at it. Sometimes we do the right things, sometimes we don't do the right things. We got out early this quarter and we started shooting a lot of videos. We were paying to fly people around the country to shoot those videos, get in front of those customers. Jeremy, you had one. What was that guy's name in California? He has a customer in California that bought a bunch of stuff that he doesn't remember the name of. See, these are just numbers to you. Is that it? Just dollar bills?
Sometimes.
They're just dollar bills. So, but it was great to hear what these customers had to say, unsolicited, asking them questions and hearing them talk about how much they love their trailer and what it means to their operation and how it's paying for itself and the safety that they're experiencing now. I mean, every time I see one of these videos, you know what I think? We had to have coached this guy. And I'm like, they're never coached. This is the natural experience people they have when they own and they use one of our products. So really phenomenal stuff on the videos. She was absolutely right. If you haven't watched the videos, you are doing yourself a disservice. This is probably one of the strongest runs we've had in a while. Q2 will be a little bit slower, but we're trying to get out there, continue some of the churning. A little guys get a little busier, a little harder to get in front of farmers sometimes, but we're soliciting a lot of people to let us interview them and talk about our products. So really great growth in social media, 23 videos alone this quarter. That's definitely our record. Talk a little bit about the sales lead funnel. These are kind of the lines. Every one of these lines represents kind of like, I think of it like a fishing line that marketing had in the water this quarter. We're trying to find people that are interested and want to raise their hand and say, I want to talk to a sales guy. Sometimes they want to talk to a sales guy and the sales guy talk to them and say, hey, that guy's not, that's not a good buyer. So, but we really try to make sure we're only giving them good ones, and we keep the ones that aren't really ready for sales. We kind of keep them on the marketing side and kind of keep the nurturing conversation going with them. Our opportunities over 600 this quarter. Our goal was 600, so we met that. But the blue are leads that the sales team is still working with today. Sometimes a guy buys a trailer in a day, a week, a month. Sometimes it's 9 months, sometimes it's 18 months, 24 months. So if they're still qualified, they still want to buy, they're just not ready yet, we keep them in that flow. And the sales team's constantly managing all these contacts to figure out who they need to be working with. The gray, those are the ones that we lost. For whatever reason, they weren't gonna buy, they didn't have the budget for it, it's not something for them. And the green are the ones that we pass over sales, they close. Doesn't look like there's a lot of green here. That was millions and millions and millions of dollars of business right there. So explain that to say that, I say that to say, what we pass to sales is just the thinnest part of the funnel. There's still thousands and thousands of people on the top of the funnel that we're constantly working with, trying to find the ones that we can pass down. 600 was a pretty big number to push through. Sometimes it's only 200 or 300 depending on the quarter. But that's one of our primary focuses of marketing, is generate those leads, find the people who are interested, and get them to the sales professional to close. Next, we had an initiative with the sales team working with the premier dealers, over 150 dealer locations that we have on the ag side. we put out a program and said, hey, if you want to sign up as a Premier dealer, you're going to have to buy more trailers and you have to commit to them up front. But if you do that, we're going to circle around you on the sales side. We're going to give you a little bit of better discount. And additionally, for the first time ever, we're going to send our marketing team out to circle around you and figure out what in your business needs help, needs work. We're partnering with these people not only to sell more trailers, but we're partnering with them to say, what do you need in your business? Because we care about you, we care about your family, we care about your, whatever it is. We want to help you grow as a business person, be successful, so you're here for a long time. And we want you to sell more trailers, so we're going to work on the trailer piece as well. So really trying to wrap our arms around that. There were 13 out of the 150, 13 dealers that signed up. Jeremy has one way out there in California. We had to visit with them on the phone. I volunteered to travel out there with Jeremy and visit with him, but didn't feel like that was a good use of the money. But we sat down with these people, really some amazing energy with the Premier dealers, understanding what they want to do. So many of these dealers, their minimum this year was 10 that they had to do. So many of these guys have almost retail 10 trailers already. Several of them said their goal is 25, 30 trailers this year. So again, when we talk about selling trailers, buying trailers, sales lives in the world of we have to wholesale this trailer from the factory to the dealer primarily, or maybe to the end customer. Marketing's perspective is all about the retail. I'm only focused on people who buy the trailer and take it home. If Jeremy sells a dealer 10 trailers and he meets the Premier dealer requirements, great. But if those 10 trailers are sitting there in December, we got a reckoning coming. So my job is to make sure those 10 trailers are long gone. And when Jeremy walks back in next year and says, hey, guess what? I want to be a Premier dealer, and he says, you're right, I do. And I say, great, commitment's 20 trailers this year. The guy's gonna go, sign me up, no problem. Because I know you guys are gonna help me move those trailers, I'll move them right out the door. We're hiring for a web developer. So if you know anybody in the area that has web development experience, little programming, please send them over. We're gonna start interviews soon. We're looking for the right candidate to come in and really help us take our game to the next level as well. Just a shameless plug for marketing there. Last but not least, talk just a little bit about where we're going in Q2. We're prepping for 13 new trade shows in Q3. A lot of our big outdoor shows happen then. We'll continue our lead generation effort to provide more leads to sales. Obviously, we don't stop. Remember all the lines we have in the water? There's that many, if not more, in the water now. We're doing there's only one big trade show. There's an oil field show that we're partnering with Cummins at, but outside of that, our big event is Waste Expo in Nevada. This is the landfills and kind of like the garbage industry. Lots of money in that industry, some really big hitters, and they love taking our SLT so they can drive that SLT up on top of the landfill, service the vehicle in spot versus having to track that thing all the way back down to the service part. So a lot of opportunity there for us. We're kind of continuing to try to develop that market. Developing some new sales literature. Jean, who's holding the camera, say hi, Jean.
Hi.
She is developing really an awesome new piece of literature. We coined this thing up last year. We talked to the sales team in January. They were for it, but it's going to be a smaller book where somebody can have in their back pocket for dealers or for customers. You're going to kind of flip it out and see what's going on there. So we're trying to make that something new and different. We like bringing innovative things to marketing. Continuing to support our Premier dealers. I mean, the meeting that we had with the Premier dealers was the first one of many, working with them to figure out what's working for them now. How do we make sure they're selling in June, July, August, and pushing those units out the door. We hope to begin rebuilding LDJ products, preferably with the help of a new web developer. But if that doesn't happen, then sometime in June, Gene and I are going to figure it out. But we're going to make that happen, at least begin that process. Also, we're beginning to really target fuel distributors. We're not specifically targeting them just yet. We're going to start doing that because they're interested in the MTT and the truck upfit. The MTU is insane. Like Travis is selling, I think, multi-tank truck upfits to people in Brooklyn because they really don't want to pull a trailer around downtown Brooklyn. They see the truck to deliver fuel, they're like, this makes great sense. We'll take two. So we want to really start targeting these people directly with some of our marketing efforts to drive more of that kind of business. Next is support the sales team. Without sales, marketing doesn't work. Without marketing, sales doesn't work. It's like engineering and production, warehousing. I mean, it takes a village to make everything go in this company, from sales, marketing, procurement, you name it. But if sales and marketing aren't in lockstep with what I'm doing, if I'm driving leads that they don't have time to take care of, that's wasted money. If I give Jeremy 16 leads and he says, I can't even call these people back because I've got 50 to call in the next 2 days and I'm working overtime just trying to get to those, that's wasted money. So I've got to make sure the flow of leads we're passing over is in line with their capacity. You guys get that same in production. Last but not least, be awesome. That's not hard for me. So, questions about marketing for Q1 or Q2?
You know why we stood back a little bit, Fred? Because you're... yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Anything overseas, Jeremy?
Some. There's some.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get scams. We actually had a major scam that hit us, but luckily our process doesn't allow us to put the product into production until we have the money. We did receive the money with a fraudulent credit card. So
Occasionally it's legit though. We've sold
but
some
yeah,
stuff
we've
to
sold
Australia,
some
Canada, I think.
Puerto Rico, Jamaica. Our most
Yep.
recent would be Puerto Rico.
David, it's a great question about international sales. The truth is this, we do not actually target or market international sales on purpose because we have, quite frankly, more than we have even. Luke's going to show you kind of some sales graphs that will illustrate this, but we haven't begun to even tap out what we have available to us in our backyard. It takes a lot of money to invest that way, so we thought, really until we've really mastered this piece, we probably should not go at that. But people find us. They find us.
Canada is really, we don't advertise at all in Canada.
Yeah.
And but we have sold up there before with our double walls because that's all we can sell up there right now. But that is huge. I get a lead from Canada probably 2-3 times a week because they think they want the FST or can take the FST. But once you discuss that with them, but we've got an opportunity possibly to expand into Canada with future opportunity that's coming down the line.
Thanks, Jeremy. Any other questions? What's it, Ray? Did you have a question?
I did not.
I thought you were raising your hand. No? Okay.
Your presentation is awesome.
Ray helped put the presentation together. That's the best part of the whole thing. I know.
They do. You have to be Trans-Canada 406, so it's the same as DOT 406 here in the States. And so you have to have a secondary containment. Well, that's not necessarily true. But it has to be an IBC classification, so you have to be able to unbolt the product from the trailer to move it around or just let it set still. So
our double wall trailer is Transport Canada compliant, meets all their bells and whistles. So we don't advertise there.